Welcome, friends. Pull up a chair. I've got a story to tell you. This one's kind of hits at home. When I was a younger fella and lived in the city of Welch, there was no green spaces. The only green space in the whole city was at the courthouse. And as young kids, we would go up there and play just about every day. And we play on the same steps that this story takes place, and we never knew anything about it. In Matewan, Sid Hatfield stood tall. He faced down the Baldwin Felts agents and walked away a hero. But the coal companies don't forget, and they don't forgive. Tonight, we follow Sid Hatfield to Welch, West Virginia, where the company finally got what it wanted. Not justice, not order, just revenge. This is Coalfield Wars. I'm John Hart, and this is the assassination of Sid Hatfield. August 1st, 1921, Sid and his friend Ed Chambers arrived in Welch with their wives, Jessie and Sally. They were there to answer charges from the Matewan shootout. Unarmed, calm, and confident. Sid had beaten the company once. He thought the law would protect him again, but the coal companies had other plans. On the courthouse porch stood Baldwin Felts detectives, the same men Sid had faced down in Matewan. Only this time, they weren't there to serve papers. They were there to settle a score. Sid stepped forward. "We're here to answer them charges." A detective said, "You sure are." And then the shooting started. Sid Hatfield was shot before he reached the door. Jessie screamed his name. Ed Chambers tried to shield his wife. He raised his hands, begged them not to shoot. They shot him anyway, twice, then again while he lay on the ground. The detectives reloaded calmly. No arrest, no warning, no mercy. They had done what the company wanted. Jessie Hatfield knelt beside her husband, blood on her hands, her dress, her face. She said his eyes were still open, like he couldn't believe what had happened. Sally Chambers held her husband's hand until it went cold. Two women, two widows, made in a matter of seconds. And the detectives, they walked away, just walked away. When word reached the coal fields, something broke inside the miners. Sid wasn't just a police chief, he was a symbol, a man who stood up to the company and lived to tell it. Now he was dead, shot down like an animal, in broad daylight, on courthouse steps. Miners gathered in kitchens, on porches, in union halls. They killed Sid, they'll kill us next. The coal companies thought they'd ended the fight, but they'd only lit the fuse. Within days, thousands of miners armed themselves with rifles, shotguns, pistols carried home from the Great War. They weren't marching for wages anymore, they were marching for justice, for Sid, for Ed, for every miner who'd been beaten, evicted, or buried. The Coalfield Wars were no longer a whisper, they were a roar. In Matewan, Sid Hatfield drew a line in the dirt. He said, "This town belongs to its people." The coal companies crossed that line in Welch. They murdered Sid in front of his wife. They sent a message, "If you stand with the miners, you die with them." This wasn't just a killing, it was a corporate execution. Another chapter in a long history of companies treating Appalachian lives as disposable. But the miners didn't forget, and neither do we. This is Coalfield Wars, and this was the assassination of Sid Hatfield. If this story stirred something in you, I'd be grateful if you like, share, and subscribe. These Appalachian stories matter, and Sid Hatfield deserves to be remembered. Next time, we march with 10,000 miners into Logan County, and we stand on the ridge at Blair Mountain. I'm John Hart, and this is the Heart of Appalachia. God bless you, and I'll see you on down the road.